Alright, these are some of the bits we got. We've got some Castrol oil filter, some coolant because it's got red in it. I don't think I've ever changed. I've had this car for like 3 or 4 years. I don't know if I've ever changed the coolant, or I might have put red in it as like when I first got it. I didn't know what I was doing or something. But I honestly can't remember. Yeah, so I got some coolant, oil, and these some Febby rear trailing arm bushings. That's what's going to be the fun part today. So I was just loosening these ones off. Just down here. This back one. Try and get a good shot of it. That back one up there. This one. That was tight as anything, like kept like making noise like it was going to snap or something. But that one's loose now. But this front one, that wasn't even tight, literally. I could have probably done that with my hand. And same with that one there. Them two were just not tight at all. That back one was really tight, so I don't know what's going on there. You can't really see the bushes right now, but they are corroded to fuck. But they are corroded, so they're looking pretty bad. Maybe I can show this with the torch here. So yeah, let's keep checking this down now. I'll show you what it looks like. I forgot my battery for the gun. I've got my little red one, that might work. I had to steal Kev's batteries, but they're no good. They're too small, they don't do anything. Where's my little red one at? Surprises me sometimes, so we'll see. Gonna break it off. Yeah, lovely. I'll get these ones out then. Oh, that was a bit violent. Look at the state of that thing. God damn. It's not good. Let's try and get my gun out. Yeah, so this was the back bolt that kept like making snapping noises, but it looks like it was just very rusty at the back there. So I broke that free by hand. Because I'm a unit, no jokes. These ones aren't that bad though. But them two weren't even tight, so a bit strange. Actually, you can see that that's like rusty all the way along it. Really rusty at the bottom though. But yeah, this is it out, yeah. I might need to take this little plastic thing off. It looks like it's stuck on that. People do sometimes take this shock absorber off to lower it more, but you can just shove a bit of wood in there or something. Saves you messing with it. So yeah, let me get this a bit lower down so we can see it properly and then have a mess about with it. Alright, just freed these cables off a little bit more just so it's not pulling on them. But here it is. That is pretty bad looking. There's, I think it's 18mm or something either side, so 17, 18 or something. So I'll get this little like top cover thing off, and then I'll cut back in and show you the actual state of the bushing. And this is how I had it set up, just two 18s on either side. I had to get the bar on this side to give it a bit more leverage, but just like that. They're both stuck in there. I can get them out, but I'll just leave them till I put it back on. I'll just do the next side after I've done this side. Actually, I might have another set of 18s actually on me, but I'll just do them after peas, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, this is the state of this thing. Oh my god. Huh. Yeah, that looks fine. Jesus. Can you see this side? I can't see that, I'll have to look back in a minute. But I imagine it's pretty bad. Let me try and prop this. Pull it down. Yep, that's not good. The other side's definitely looking worse, but... Alright, let's... Well, let me fight this for the next 3 hours. Because I do not have the right tools. Because I am tight and did not want to buy them. So, wish me luck with that. I'm just going to beat it out with a flathead screwdriver and a hammer. And then maybe drill bits and other things. I'm going to clean this up as well afterwards because this is pretty bad looking. And that'll be nice and smooth. And I'll clean up this mating area as well. I'll have a look at that in a second, see how bad that is. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of me putting these back on, but I've now got poly bushings on them, as you can see there. I did have the original ones on there that I bought, fitted them, but I didn't have the right tools and I think I messed it up. And when it got tracked, it was driving horribly. So then I bought these poly bushings. And then I fitted them ones. Now it seems to be pretty decent. I also did try to clean this wheel up, and because it was black, and paint it silver like the other one. If you look pretty close, it's pretty messed up. From a distance it's alright. So yeah, I got them sorted on both sides. Did the service, oil filter, and a coolant change. So that's good for a minute. I have just bought all new calipers for the whole thing, and rear brake discs and pads, AUC sensor, glow plug, module, a couple of other little bits and bobs, so it's quite a bit of work I'm going to be doing to this soon. There'll be a video on that. Now I'm going to go sort the van out as well. So I'm back on the van again today. Got a couple of things to do to it. Got them little rubber grommets to put in the box because they're all missing, these things here. I've got a radio to fit, a little tray, and just a little bit bits and bobs like that. I'm just going to start it and show you what it sounds like when it's idling. I think it could be to do with that, it might not be, but we'll try to figure it out. But you can hear it. Now if I give it a little bit of revs, no, it's not really doing it, but it usually rattles a lot. Also, these are squeaking. Well, I've changed the blades, it's not them, it's the little motor, so I'm going to put some WD-40 on it. See if that stops it. We'll do that now, actually. I don't know where it's coming from. I'll spray that up and see. But let's change these little mounts here. Alright, I've changed the top two. That one's obviously got a new one on it, and that one down there. But I think that side, the plastic thing on the engine's broken off where that connects to, or it's in the wrong place, I'm not sure. I'll have to Google it or something. It's one of the old ones though. Pretty nasty looking. There's two more in here, but you could buy 1, 2 or 4 online. So I don't know if there's actually any more in there. To take it off at some point when it's not raining. Just take the whole thing off and have a look down there. That should be better for a minute. Alright, I've just got the radio. I've literally just plugged it in, there's literally 2 connectors on the back. And already it's showing me some signs here, so this wasn't popping up before. It's not in English, and it's also, the language isn't in English before I plugged the radio in. And this is in kilometers as well. Is it going to show me the mileage? Yeah, there you go. That's in kilometers. So I wanted to change, this is why I needed the original, so I wanted to change that. Obviously I just wanted it to be back to normal. This is all popping up now, so I can actually change the time now and all this stuff. Before literally nothing popped up at the time. So I'll have a little quick mess about with it. Get and it seems to fit in as well, which is good. It seems secure. It's a little movement, but obviously someone's cut out the stuff around here. I bought this little tray as well, so hopefully that just fits right in. I don't have to mess with it too much. I'll fix this as well. Now all this works, because this wasn't all turning before. So yeah, pretty much everything's sorted in the front almost there. The glove box is still broken, but it does work. It opens and shuts, but it does a lot of when you open it, it like falls out, but you can put it back in, so it's fine. Oh, there you go. This is what it was showing. It just flashed like that. That's all it does. And obviously that's normal, but it's in kilometers. But then if like a message comes up like low fuel or something, it says it up here, like it'll come up with a message saying like low fuel, but it's in a different language. So hopefully I can mess about and sort it and change it all here. Right, I've managed to finally get the van in miles, so that's good. Unfortunately, I got the MOT done. The lads put it in miles, even though it was in kilometers, so that's reading wrong on the MOT now, but never mind. It's at 180,000. It says it needs a service, but I've just serviced it. The spanner sign that usually means service, so I'll have a look at that in a second. But yeah, right time, right date and all that. Right mileage now. That's all I wanted. Radio's not working, but the radio connector thing's broken. We did try to fix it, but it's probably not the best. I can try and figure out how to what do you call it, where you rechannel it so you can find new channels or whatever. See if that works. If not, I've got one of them things that plug in and then you put it to the radio and you can use like Bluetooth. It goes off radio signals, so that might work for using Bluetooth. I'll find it. It does say there's an aux, but there's no aux on this thing, so I'm not sure what that's about. It says go to source. Let's use that aux, so I'll change it to English as well. I'm not sure what this RDS means. Try and knock that off somehow. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Nice little fix. Just need to wait for this tray that's coming. Should be good. Alright, I've reset that little spanner light. Mileage is all spot on now. It shows me the actual time. The radio doesn't actually work, but all them annoying other little lights have gone and knocked them off. Like I said, that radio antenna thing's broken, so I need to try and fix that. I can show you, so it's locked in. Actually, saying that, I should be able to listen to CDs now, actually. I think I've got some CDs. I can listen to CDs, that'll be alright. I'll just do that. But yeah, I'm happy with that. That was really bugging me. Some little annoying things, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's right now, it's in miles. It's English. I can listen to CDs. Radio doesn't work. But like I said, I might be able to get one of them Bluetooth things and that might work. Yeah, I'll be there, just wait for that little box and then we're good to go. Alright, got the little cubby hole thing, put that in there just to finish off the front. Obviously you don't need to, but just want it to look decent. Got these little USB Type-C cigarette lighter things as well. I got one for the Beamer and one for this. Just because everything's Type-C now and no one's I don't know if many people have these. Obviously you've probably started buying them now, but I've got tons of these but USB versions, so I needed some Type-C ones. So they're good. They're like 2 for £8 or something on Amazon, so worth getting some of them. But yeah, that's the little tray in. I've just been listening to CDs on it. Everything's been working, so happy days. Still got some stuff to do to the van. I've got to paint the rear door. It's white, I need to paint it silver. The engine's a bit, it's running and driving, but it's pretty loud, so there's some stuff going on there. Not sure exactly what. There's a bit more work to do on this. And then, like I said, the Beamer, I've just bought all them parts for it, so we'll have some stuff to sort out there as well. Alright, that's all the jobs done for a minute. Got literally everything sorted that I could with the Beamer and the van. I just went on parts now for the BMW. When them come, we can make another video on that. But the Beamer drives way better now with them poly bushings on the back. So obviously, like before, I had like when I was driving it, it felt like I had 4-wheel steering or something. You know what I mean? The back was like chucking itself all over the place. Did not feel safe. So I changed it to the like original bushings, like the silver ones you've seen on the first bit of footage. I put them in it, but I didn't have the right tool and I'm beating on them and stuff, and I think I like cracked the inside of them and stuff, so they were a bit questionable. So I did that, and then I got it when I got a wheel alignment, and they said they couldn't change the back. It was like they couldn't move the rear trailing arms far enough or whatever, because it's just like 3 bolts, and they like kind of move left and right a little bit. Like, oh, maybe it's stuck or whatever. But I'd like sanded it all down and like cleaned it all up, so they fully moved left and right. It just didn't. Once it like moved all the way to the right or whatever, it needed to go further, but obviously it couldn't because it was stuck on the brackets. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. So I don't know if maybe one of the components in the back's a bit bent or something, and it's not allowing the wheel to be like straight properly. But after they did that, it drove even worse. So I was like, right. So I went back, I took the rear trailing arm bushes back out that I put in, and I put them poly bushings in, and then I've drove it around, and it feels way better. It feels proper nice. You can actually kind of like, you know, chuck yourself around corners and there's no issues. So I'm definitely going to be sticking with them. I think I'm probably going to try and change them all in the back, like probably try and change them all to like these poly bushings. It was just the cheap ones off eBay. It was like 30 quid or something, but they're solid. They seem fine. Might not last as long, but you know, if you change them every like 5 years or something, it'll probably be fine. I imagine it'll last longer than 5 years anyway, but we'll see. But now also on the steering wheel, there's like judder when you brake, so I think maybe one of the calipers sticking or something, because there's also like squeaking in the brakes and stuff. I have changed all the brakes on it, but the back ones are looking a bit questionable now, so that was probably a couple of years back. The front ones are fine because I only changed them like last year. So I've bought all new calipers, bought new rear brakes, loads of other little bits and bobs. We'll be able to make a full video on it. Should be decent. And then hopefully, also the steering wheel, you can like move it an inch left and right, and like the wheels don't move. So I've bought a solid coupler for the steering column, because there's like a rubber one there. So I've bought a solid one. So hopefully it's not too aggressive or whatever when you're driving over bumps and stuff, but we'll find out. If it's too aggressive, I'll just go back to the other one. Just have to deal with the inch of movement either side without the wheels moving. If anyone knows what that could be, just let me know. So yeah, hopefully that'll be sorted. The shake when you brake and when it shakes a bit of the steering wheel, hopefully that'll be sorted. And there's a couple cords for the AU sensor that's not working, and the glow plug module that isn't working, so I bought them, so hopefully I can fix all that so there'll be no cords on the car either. And then apart from that, it should just be cosmetic, I think. There might be an oil leak or something from somewhere I might need to look into, but it is a Beamer, so that's fine. But yeah, I think apart from that, it's pretty solid. It should be a nice driving car then again, because it's been a bit questionable for the last like couple of months, so I'd like to get it driving nice, and then it's just cosmetic after that. And when I fix all the cosmetic stuff, it should be pretty solid. It's, you know, it's like the only car I've had for like years. I usually buy cars and trade them up all the time, so it's the only car I've had for years. I don't know, I've got some connection to it. So I'll probably try and keep it as long as I can. Even if the engine went, I might try and put like a 330D in it or something. I don't know, but yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing